All right, guys, the Biden administration has been telling us that America is in one of the best spots that it's been financially and economically.
Since it took office, families are carrying less debt. A recent survey from the Federal Reserve found that more Americans feel financially comfortable than any time since the survey began in 2013.
So we're going to go ask the average American if what the Biden administration is reporting happening here in America actually lines up with what people think on the streets.
Comfortable? Look at them gas prices. They ain't comfortable to me. Hell no.
Joe Biden says that we're in a strong economy, that we're doing great. Do you believe that?
No.
Ain't no comfortability around nowhere. It really hurts America with the gas prices because we have to get to work. And if we can't get to work and we got to spend all our money on gas that we going to work on, that means you can't pay your bills. So it's an endless circle of endless debt.
Everybody gonna go in debt, sooner or later, because what's happening now is everybody is feeling the heat from every angle of the society. So yeah, I feel like no, it's not true.
It's bullshit completely, because rent prices is crazy. We paying, I don't know how much percent more, but I would say at least 300 or 400 more than we was paying 2 years ago. That's ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? Salaries aren't going up, so how are we supposed to make the difference in income and rent? It doesn't make sense.
So when the Biden administration comes forward and says that economically and financially our country's doing really well, do you think that's a lie?
Yep, I think they're blowing smoke up our behinds. I think it's Biden's fault. Trump said it would happen. We would deal with a lot of the stuff that we dealing with back when we had the Great Depression.
We're not financially stable, comfortable, or nothing like that. But when Trump was in office, I was feeling really good.
Really?
Yes, Trump.
So Joe Biden's too much, you'd rather have Trump back?
I want Trump back. I'm not for Biden. I'm not for him.
Did you vote for Joe Biden?
No.
No?
I didn't.
Did you vote at all in this last election?
No.
No? Didn't want to vote, but now that you could have a choice between Trump or Biden, you would choose?
I would choose Donald Trump because he's about making money. And, he's for, independent businesses and stuff like that.
I miss Daddy T, Trump.
I miss Daddy T, Trump.
I miss Daddy T, for real. I respected him because he was real about his opinion, even though I didn't always agree with him, but he kept it real with us. We know what was going to happen. Things was better. The economy was better. Trump for the culture.
For the culture?
Yeah, he's for the culture. He's just misunderstood. He kind of like a Kanye, but he may say stuff the wrong way sometimes or have a wrong approach, wrong wordplay, but he mean well as a collective, as a people, you know what I'm saying? He cares,
Who's a better president for America, Joe Biden or Donald Trump?
I feel like Donald Trump. Because, his whole slogan is make America great again, no matter how we have to, basically. So, yeah, Donald Trump.
Shalom. First and foremost, I want to begin by giving all praise, all honor, and all glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushua, Bahashem, Rakakawadash, and double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone that tells his truth, and much respect to the Akim out there laboring in his work, and also to the believers scattered across the four corners of the earth, the hopefully elect to USA. Shalom. And so yeah, that was a clear example of the results of rejecting this truth, which leads to you being supremely confused, which ultimately leads into you being, destroyed within these latter days, as the majority of our people are on the path of destruction. Okay, everything outside of what the Heavenly Father Yahweh, Yahushua has set up for them, to follow, they have rejected, and they have chosen a path of rebellion, which leads to confusion and then destruction. So at this point, it's not like you Israelites, you Negro, Latino, Native Americans have not heard this message. And to back this up, when you get Romans 10 and 18, it says, "But I say, have they not heard?" It says, "Yes, verily," or "Yes, truly. Their sound went into all the earth, and their words into the ends of the world." All right, so the prophets that you see on the highways and the byways telling you that you are the Israelites, whether they come from Great Millstone or some other camp or word of mouth, was put out there, and You heard it at some point, and that was your cue. You know, that was the Lord calling you to repent, to seek. As you get in the book of Ruth, you know, seek him 10 times more. And what you get is a lot of rebellion against this message. And people either reject it or they hear this message and become happy that they are the chosen. But then they go and make it about a festive event. Okay, they turn into a festive type of event of mirth, understanding that, you know, we went off as a people. So the overall message is that we were supposed to be seeking mercy, and by doing it, you know, the Lord would ultimately open us up unto this knowledge, this truth, which gives us the answers to all things. Okay. But this is something that Jake does not want, man. And you're seeing the fruits of Jake in that rebellious spirit, who's going to be destroyed for denying the support. But, you know, Jake has been beaten down so much that that's satisfied with being under the foot of Esau, the oppressor, you know, to the point of where they're willing to call him Big Daddy T. We miss you, Big Daddy T. From a grown ass man, you know. So that it tells you how they look at Esau Edom as their father, man. And you are your father, the devil. And the lust of your father you would do, man. So Esau got nothing for you Jakes, and you're gonna find out the hard way very soon. Alright, at first you niggas was you wanted Trump to be out of office because you said he was racist, you know, and you wanted Biden to come in. So now that Biden's not living up to what he spoke or promised, all these broken promises, now you want Trump back in there. So you niggas is all over the place, man. But Jeremiah 2:14 says, is Israel a servant? Is he a homeborn slave? Why is he spoiled? Yeah, you so-called Negro, Latino, and Native Americans, you know, are supposed to be above all nations. And, you know, you've been beaten down so much. As you get in Deuteronomy 28:48, it says Esau, so-called white man, will put a yoke upon your neck until he had destroyed you, you know, mentally. And that's why you have Stockholm Syndrome as of to this day. You know, you develop this sympathy for your oppressor, the one that's been whooping your ass, man, for centuries on out. You see? So this truth is king's talk. Alright? It's not about peasantry. It's about us being lifted up through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shema Shai to be set back in our proper order. But our people don't want that, and they're going to be destroyed for it, man. So, you know, that's why this truth is only for the ones that are like-minded. You know, we don't try to wake up all Israelites. It's only for the ones that want to be forgiven for their iniquity by Yahweh Shema Shai, and ultimately, you know, being raised back up into their proper position of being, you know, the rulers of this planet, man. Because this is hell that we're living in, you know. So let's go to Wisdom of Solomon 3. And we'll start at verse 10. It says, but the ungodly shall be punished according to their own imaginations. All right. And this is, you know, speaking about the 2/3 of our people who reject this message. Okay, you're going to be punished according to your own imaginations, which have neglected the righteous and forsaken the Lord. It says, for whoso despises wisdom and nurture, he is miserable. Let's get this word miserable real quick. Just curious of what it means. Someone who is miserable, wretchedly unhappy and uncomfortable. Right? You don't have the comfort because you're not nurtured. You're not nurtured by the scriptures. Because if you came back into the true knowledge of the Bible through Yahweh Shema Shai, then you will understand the reasoning behind everything, because all answers are contained within the scriptures. So again, for whoso despises wisdom, when you hear his word, you reject it, right? And nurture it, because his word nurtures you like a mother. Okay, it comforts you. It says, he is miserable and their hope is in vain. Yeah, you hoping in Esau, Edom, Joe Biden, Donald Trump, anything that's tied to the system is going to lead to you being disappointed. Your hope is in vain. Their labors are unfruitful. And it says, and their works unprofitable. Their wives are foolish and their children wicked, man. We see that. All right, their wives are foolish and their children are wicked. You see, their offspring is cursed, wherefore blessed is the barren that is undefiled, which have not known the sinful bed. She shall have fruit in the visitation of souls, man. So, you know, this wisdom, you know, builds you up and it comforts you concerning things that are going on currently and what's to come. All right. So let's get Ecclesiastes 4 and verse 1. We're gonna read in the NLT. It says, "Again, I observed all the oppression that takes place under the sun on earth. I saw the tears of the oppressed with no one to comfort them." That's why you got niggas marching in the streets, you know, protesting against Edomite on, you know, Israelite violence or black on white violence, you know. And this is all vain. Your hope is in vain, man. So again, it says, "I saw the tears of the oppressed with no one to comfort them." The oppressors have power, or have great power. And who is your oppressor? The so-called white man, the one who you love, man. They have great power and their victims are helpless. So, you know, the comfort is not going to come through your oppressor, man. It's Esau is looking to snare you. You know, you got two controlled oppositions, the Democrat and Republican, who are for the same cause of this NWO agenda that's being orchestrated by these elites of Esau, which ultimately is looking to snare you, Jakes, to kill you, man. You know, so you trusting in this system is going to lead to your death. So Revelation 13 and 11 says, "And I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth." All right, speaking about America, "and he had two horns like a lamb, and he spake as a dragon." These two horns represents the Democrat and the Republican, and that's pretty much a spitting image of what took place during the Roman Empire, where you had the plebeians and the patricians, two opposing sides, two controlled oppositions, man. So it's the same thing today. "And he had two horns like a lamb." These two horns are two powers, Democrat and Republicans, like a lamb, because they speak peaceably. All right, but it says, "and he spake as a dragon." All right, a dragon goes into draconian, you know, very harsh and severe laws, as they got that from the Greek Empire. All right, in which these draconian laws are being implemented as we speak, but they're going to increase. So this system is going to fail you, and they're going to come with these draconian measures, you know, that's going to ultimately snare you into a pit. All right, so walking in the footsteps of Esau, trusting in this man's system, is going to lead to you being ultimately killed, man. Let's go to 2 Thessalonians 2. All right, and we'll start at verse 9. It says, "Even him whose coming is after the working of Satan." That him is speaking about Esau, Edom. All right, the oppressor who has great power. Okay, whose coming is after the working of Satan, with all power and signs and lying wonders. This man's philosophies, his technological miracles that he's doing upon the earth, you know, all this deception. It says 10, it says, "And with all deceivableness of unrighteousness in them that perish," speaking about you Israelites, you 2/3, "and them that perish because they receive not the love of the truth, that they might be saved." Because receiving this truth was going to lead to you being guided in the right direction, you know, guided out of the way of the evil man. Okay, it says, "But you pretty much rejected his message," as the scriptures say. So 11 says, "And for this cause the Most High shall send them strong delusion, as you see, that they should believe a lie, that they all might be damned who believe not the truth, but had pleasure in unrighteousness." And that's unrighteousness, you know, trusting in Esau, Edom. Okay, so only the remnant will be saved due to this knowledge. All right, so let's go to Jeremiah, might be Isaiah 30 and 15. It says, "For thus saith the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashim Al-Shai, the Holy One of Israel, and returning and rest shall ye be saved. You see? So for you repenting from your ways and returning back into Yahweh Shema Shah, you're going to receive rest, and then ultimately you're going to be saved. It says, in quietness and in confidence shall be your strength. And that's what the elect have obtained. Hopefully they have obtained during this time. We're quiet. You know, we're not wanting anything because the Lord has given us everything that we need according to this knowledge. We're satisfied. It says, and in confidence shall be your strength. You're confident about what's to come. That's why we're prophesying the end of America. It says, and confidence shall be your strength, and ye would not. All right, ye would not. You would not return because you wanted to do your own thing. And you know, it is what it is. The Lord chose to blind you, and there's nothing that we can do about it. We're just thankful that the Lord opened our eyes up, you know, the ones that have received His truth, to ultimately receive mercy. So let's just end with this. 1 Peter 2 and verse 9 says, but ye, the ones that have repented, are a chosen generation, a royal priesthood. It says chosen because you had to be chosen to get this truth, man. This ain't nothing that you can get for your own, but it has to be given to you. Let's get Psalm 65 and 4. It says, blessed is the man whom thou choosest. You see, blessed is the man whom thou choosest, because you ain't get this on your own, and causes to approach unto thee, that he may dwell in thy courts. We shall be satisfied with the goodness of thy house. All right, that's why we're quiet. You know, we're stable, and we're confident. We're satisfied with the goodness of thy house, talking about this knowledge, even of thy holy temple. So going back to 1 Peter 2 and verse 9, it says, but ye are a chosen generation, a royal priesthood, and holy nation, a peculiar people, that ye should show forth the praises of him that have called you out of darkness. What that shit that you just saw. All right, Big Daddy T, we miss you. You know, out of all that madness, we were called out of it into his marvelous light, this truth. It says, which in time past we're not a people, just like we were in that mind state of those jakes, but are now the people of the Most High, which had not obtained mercy, but now have obtained mercy, man, through this truth. Okay, so dearly beloved, I beseech you as strangers and pilgrims, because we have no continuing place here, abstain from fleshly lusts which war against the soul. Yeah, we can't draw back into the world, because that's going to lead to us being destroyed, you know, putting our stock into America and this system, which has no hope, you know, for anyone. All right, it's ultimately going to be destroyed, and returning back is going to lead to your destruction. Remember Lot's wife, remember? So yeah, this is what we have been called into, you know, to receive the first fruits of heaven. And, you know, Lord willing, the Lord continues to guide us on the right path. All right, so that's pretty much it. You know, Lord willing, you're edified. Till next time, I say shalom.